From a very chaotic neighborhood today. Very up for grabs. There's a celebration to last throughout the year going on. This is Kurt Berglund with an APBA Hall of Fame set preview for you. We talked about a few things in our last video, including I'm not using a DH. I'm not doing the 3-batter minimum for a relief pitcher. I'm not doing a runner on base when it's extra innings. There's going to be a 25-man roster. There's going to be basic game rules used. It's a King of the Hill format. Win and keep going. Get to 10 wins, and you make the World Series. And we are playing injuries. These are the basics of the APBA Hall of Fame League that I am setting up and beginning in January of 2021. We did 2 team previews in our last video, 1901 to 1920, that ball club, and we also did a preview for 1921 to 1940. Today I'm going to take you through the 1941 to 1960 ball club and tell you about some personnel dilemmas that not personal dilemmas, those I have plenty of. Personnel dilemmas with this team and why I'm not quite done with the roster. Some decisions still need to be made, so let's go through those and show you what they are. For the ball club as it stands right now, there are 25 players, 9 pitchers, and 16 position players as it stands right now. In the APBA Hall of Fame set, one of the first things that you'll notice if you're trying to put a team like this together is that you have 7 pitchers that have their best 5 seasons identified as being between 1941 and 1960. They include Early Wynn, Bob Feller, Bob Lemon, Warren Spahn, Hal Newhouser, Robin Roberts, and Hoyt Wilhelm. Of this group, there is exactly one A pitcher, and his name is Hal Newhouser. The rest are Bs. Some aren't even BZs, like Early Wynn, Bob Feller, and that's it. We have one reliever. It's Hoyt Wilhelm. He is an A out of the pen with an XZ, and so he's fine as a closer. But you can't do this tournament or this King of the Hill format with 7 pitchers. It's not going to work. So, what we're doing is looking for a couple more pitchers who had experience in the 40s or 50s that I'm not using somewhere else or that wouldn't seriously deplete another spot. And the 2 that I've come up with are these 2, Jim Bunning and Whitey Ford. Both are identified by APBA as having their best seasons in the 1960s, but because they were both very active and very good in the 50s, I'm going to use them there. That'll bump up the staff to 9 pitchers. So there's one problem solved. But here come the dilemmas. Here are the position players that as of today I've chosen for this group. Yogi Berra, Roy Campanella, Jimmy Fox, Johnny Mize, Jackie Robinson, Joe Gordon, Ernie Banks, Pee Wee Reese, Eddie Matthews, Mickey Mantle, Duke Snyder, Ted Williams, Stan Musial, Ralph Kiner, Al Kaline, and Larry Doby. Okay, that's great. Except it's not great because there are 3 spots that I'm still thinking about. The first one is what I'm calling the backup second base position. As of today, I have selected Joe Gordon for that spot. However, I'm also pondering the use of Bobby Doerr. Now their cards are largely similar. We have one difference in defense, a 1 point difference between the two. And of course, in his career, and although their slugging is actually a little deceptive here, but in his career, Gordon hit for a little bit more power than Doerr. I'm leaning Gordon, but I could be talked out of it. If you've got input on that, let me know. I would be fascinated to hear the arguments. Here are the cards side by side. This is for a position that probably won't play a lot because I'll be using Jackie Robinson most of the time. But this is Doerr, this is Gordon. I'm leaning Gordon. Make a case for one or the other in the comments below. All right. Second dilemma is at shortstop. As of right now, and this is the a four-headed monster that we have right now. I'm going to get the second baseman out of here. The four-headed monster includes Pee Wee Reese, Ernie Banks, Phil Rizzuto, and Lou Boudreau. Now, as of this moment, today, I have selected Banks and Reese to be the two shortstops on this team. Reese is a 9, so are the other three that are in the running. Rizzuto and Boudreau are also 9s. Banks is an 8. Banks, of course, has the slugging, and you can see his card versus Pee Wee. This is a team that's going to have to score runs. The pitching is not great, and so two things are going on here. One, I may need these ones in the lineup to help score runs. On the other hand, Pee Wee gives me an extra point of defense, and defense may be an important characteristic to make sure that this isn't a fielding one team to capitalize on. So it could be one of these two. I need two shortstops, and I need to identify who the starter most of the time is going to be. These are the two I've selected for now, and I'm leaning toward Banks for a starter. These are the two that I have rejected to this point, although I could be talked out of it, and I'd be interested to see what your thoughts are as we line these two guys up as well. We know that these are both double column guys. We know that neither one really had slugging as their main feature of their game, although Boudreau at 446 for slugging isn't too bad. And he's got some ones in the second column. So there's an argument to be made here for Boudreau right now. I would have Rizzuto 4th of the group. So I need two shortstops, and I need to know which one you think should be the starter. And then the last spot on the team, as of right now, is occupied by Larry Doby. Now, I'm pondering keeping Ashburn. They're even, obviously, defensively. And they are very, very different ball players. Doby obviously has a lot more power than Ashburn did, and Ashburn's on base is significantly higher, I would say, than Doby's is. The four people that will make up the starting lineup most of the time in the outfield are neither of these two individuals. They are Snyder, Mantle, Williams, and Musial. However, a pinch hitter would be nice, and we've got some pinch hitters off the bench that are right-handed, Kiner and Kaline. And so I'm looking for one lefty pinch hitter, and it's going to be Ashburn or Doby. as I said, I'm leaning Dobie, but I could be persuaded that Ashburn's the better choice. All right, beyond the spots that I've shown you so far, the cuts are these. Nellie Fox didn't make it. George Kell didn't make it. I'm going with Matthews at third and Jackie Robinson to back him up. Enos Slaughter, no. Red Shadings, no. Monty Irvin, thought about him hard, but ultimately Dobie and Ashburn, I think, are ahead of him. So that's where we're at with the team from 1941 through 1960. Tomorrow I'll have a preview of the 1961 to 1980 team and the dilemmas I'm facing with that group as well. Thank you so much for joining me. My name's Kurt Berglund. I'm having fun with this. And I hope you are too. Hope you'll follow along with my King of the Hill APBA Hall of Fame season. We gotta stick together, people. Hope you're having a great holiday. So long, everybody.